Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ITTF Seamaster 2018 World Tour Lion Japan Open. That right there is Jike, a Grand Slam champion, a gold medal in the Olympics in 2012, and everything else that it takes. World champion 2 times in singles. And here is Tomokazu HARIMOTO, the wonder kid, 14 years old. He's beaten Ma Long already. And he's beaten Jike recently as well. Last week in China, it was a 4-0 victory for Tomokazu HARIMOTO. I'm your commentator, Adam Bobrow, and I'm excited to see this match. Jike has made big improvements since last week, has already been tested twice. Saul Weinstein, the umpire for the match. We'll have a 2-minute warm-up here. Take a look at the road to the final for a minute, take it all in.
The assistant umpire is ZHANG from Hong Kong.
So there was Lu Go-jung in the corner with Jike. I thought I might see Xiao Jian, his personal coach from before. Fan Zhendong at the top of the men's singles list. I'm curious to see how many points Ma Long gets. You can find all that on ITTF.com within the new ranking system. Tomokazu HARIMOTO at 175 points, number 15 on the list. But we'll get a lot of points from this tournament here. Now it's interesting, I was having this conversation earlier. A week ago, Jike was not looking to be in such good shape. I mean, we had seen him, the slowest we had ever seen him when Thiago Apollonia beat him. A few big backhands, still not an easy player to beat. So Thiago was playing well, but Jike just didn't look the same. And Thiago sort of said that to him after the match. You could tell that he was saying, sorry, man, I know you've got a lot of pain to deal with and you're coming back, something to that effect. And then Maharu Yoshimura beat him. He almost lost to Stoyanov from Italy. And again, a very strong player in his own right, but still Jike, a legend of the sport, trying to make his way back, comes back next week, plays against Tomokazu HARIMOTO, gets beaten 4-0. Before the match, we were wondering how it would go. I think a lot of people favored HARIMOTO just because of the other opponents. And now you'd think, well, the way he's playing right now, HARIMOTO should just destroy Jike. And that might happen. It really might. But Jike has played some very impressive matches so far. Yesterday, had 2 7-gamers, Jin Ueda against Liang Jingquin. He also was holding his lower back quite a bit, trying to get back in shape for this match. Well, actually, it was supposed to be for Timo Boll, but Timo Boll had to pull out of the tournament due to neck injury. 30 years old, Jike, world rank number 102 currently. He's been out of the game for some time. Round of 32 exits in the last 3 tournaments we have from him here, starting with the German Open at the end of last year. I'm guessing that was when Thiago Apollonia beat him. After that, Maharu Yoshimura, Tomokazu HARIMOTO. Now, speed is so important in table tennis. There's Saul Weinstein from the United States, our umpire for the match. An assistant umpire, Matthew Chung from Hong Kong. But speed is so important. It's part of the reason you see players like Satyen Gyanshekaran and Alexandre Robineau from France that aren't massive, to say the least, quite slim, but are very fast and very effective. And actually, Tomokazu HARIMOTO has gained a lot of strength and speed. Physically, he's becoming more and more massive. Just take a look. We'll see in his game. So Jike, yeah, has quads that have drawn attention, very positive attention to the sport around the world. Whenever someone says you need muscle to play table tennis, I'm like, hold on, let me pull out my Instagram account. See this leg? That's Jike's leg. And they're like, what? Why is that necessary? And then I explain how the Chiquita works why getting in with a backhand over the forehand side of the table takes so much strength, and then to get back for a backhand to the far corner. So while Tomokazu Harimoto's in incredible shape, Jike has been improving rapidly since Hong Kong 2 weeks ago. And if he continues in this way, he could make it quite a match, but it should 2 weeks ago. And if he continues in this way, he could make it quite a match, but it should be an uphill battle. We'll see. Good backhand to start. Jike got right back into play. Harimoto making it quite a point. Beautiful backhand from early on, the receive game. This one gets away from Harimoto. Funny, Jike has an intimidating factor about him in many ways. I feel like Harimoto is pretty fearless. I don't expect to see too many points going this way. Jike a bit behind the table, a bit soft. Harimoto missing the shots with Jike behind the table. Oh, fast long serve. He's able to turn and get the forehand from the middle of the table to play wide. This is where the speed is really needed to cover the table. If you don't have that, if you can't move, you have to make a big shot, stay close. For example, fast long serve, big shot right after. Tough way to win it. Again, an injured player. One big shot to finish the rally. What level of pain is Jike feeling? We don't know. This has always been the question with Jike. The question, well, there are a lot of questions here. No matter how much he wants it, what if he really wants it? Could he still win it? And then the question is, how much does he want this? And I imagine he'd want it quite a bit. After all, this is the same 14-year-old that beat Malong, Jike's friend and teammate. It's the same 14-year-old that beat Jike 4-0 just a week ago. Slows it down a little bit for a spinny backhand instead of the power on the first one. Still Harimoto leading by 2. Soft flip from in near the table. Jike within 1. Now, it's easier said than done, but one thing that we at home watching this on TV or online, ITTV, wherever you're watching right now, you have a chance to see the space of the court. And from overhead, Harimoto, if he can stay a little bit closer to the table, you'd imagine can hang in there for the rallies. He's going to be a little bit more comfortable in controlling the angles as well and keeping pressure on Jike. After all, Jike's getting away from the table. But from just a step behind the table, he'll have one big shot. He's got the power to do that. And unless it comes right back into that sweet spot, the next shot should be slightly softer. It's going to be up to Harimoto to hang in there for the change of spin. 3 in a row for Jike. Right down the line. Good combination here. Interesting, Zhang Jiko is probably thought of to be the best backhand in modern history in men's table tennis. A solid forehand flip here. HARIMOTO also, a lot of hype being built up about his backhand. The more the world starts to watch and learn, the more they realize how strong HARIMOTO's backhand is. When you have a player who's a little bit slow or injured, you have to take advantage of the movement. Tries to play it behind the momentum. Short side of the table, Zhang Jiko up 2 points. Last night, HARIMOTO came in. There was a long line of fans waiting at the hotel. Getting a little taste of what it's like to be Zhang Jiko. I think the factor security isn't really needed yet for HARIMOTO. Could be in the future. Zhang Jiko still has a whole squad of security when he plays the China Open, specifically for him. That's how popular he is in China. Backhand rip right off the serve. In near the table, this is where he's most threatening, and he can dictate a bit where Zhang Jiko's gonna have to deal with the ball. Not right into the backhand cleanly. A little bit wider to the backhand side. Nine all HARIMOTO with the serves. Top of the net and out. The decisions are right. He played the parallel well. Tried to hug it down the line with some side and top spin. Game point to Zhang Jiko. Oh, what a backhand to finish. Clean and wide, Zhang Jiko takes game number 1. Couldn't get a game in their last match, takes the first one here. A bit of momentum, a bit of confidence and belief. He'll deal with the pain later, but he will fight this match till the very end. Game number 2 coming up right after this. Back for game number 2. Now this makes things quite interesting for me. I think the way HARIMOTO's been playing, he would be the strong favorite in the eyes of many, especially considering their last encounter. But Zhang Jiko, the underdog here by world ranking, takes the first game and the first point. Sports psychology, a real deal. A mental game out here, belief.
2 love.
Trying to take advantage of maybe the slower movement, the issues on Zhang Jiko's side. He's still moving around a bit, changing up his receive game. Catch me if you can. Wow. I mean, even if we never see the Zhang Jiko that we saw from 2011 to 2014, shots like that just light up a sense of excitement in the table tennis world, that we will get some decent percentage of Zhang Jiko's best back on the table, that we can see points like this played. Ooh. Break off the edge here for HARIMOTO. Chopped their ball out in front. Zhang Jike just misconnecting. But I'm impressed with Zhang Jike's movement. Considering everything, he's able to turn. He's had forehands and backhands from, at least forehands from both sides.
4-2.
Didn't see what happened there. Not sure if it caught his shirt or he blocked it on the way down. Be nice to see a replay of that at some point. Oikai onegaishimasu. Don't know if it'll make it into the highlights, but Zhang Jike right now up 5-2. Again, this sense of self-belief when Zhang Jike's playing some of these big shots, it can be quite deflating and discouraging.
3-5.
Pretty scary foot stomp there. Frustration. Zhang Jike going for broke, stepping around. I thought it was just going to be one shot. In that rally, it was. It was that shot or nothing.
3-6.
And we have to give credit, of course, to Zhang Jike and Lin Gaoyuan, but this reminds me of when HARIMOTO played Lin Gaoyuan. He just wasn't really able to play his game or get his shots in.
7-3.
And the details of that, again, it's credit to the opponent. When HARIMOTO looks off, yeah, he might be. But that's the way real-time sports work like this, where there's offense and defense. And you're reacting to somebody in real time. 4 points ahead, Zhang Jike with the serves. Good counter exchange here. HARIMOTO within 3. Still a ways to go. Little bit flatter ball deep to the corner. HARIMOTO within 2 with the second towel break. Still gets a little bit of side spin on that Chiquita. But when he comes in his earlier matches against Lee Sang-soo, for example, today, HARIMOTO put a lot of side spin on it. It really made it kick. I don't know the details of Zhang Jike's physical condition right now.
5.
But he's moving well. Handling side spins. Here's the reverse pendulum serve, a serve that Zhang Jike is quite familiar with delivering. And look at that receive. Chiquita out wide.
9-5.
I was hoping it would be a close match, and I was hoping we would see Zhang Jike in good form. But I'm really surprised to see the scoreboard the way it is right now.
Got it! 9-6.
Now within 2. I don't imagine I'm the only person watching this imagining all sorts of different scenarios here. Again, the match could still very much go either way.
7-10.
A big point here. Zhang Jike looking at a 2-0 lead if he can take one of the next few points here. Shovel serve with underspin. Rare occasion again. This is something that we saw more in the women's game that's making its way into the men's game. It's used wisely here. Still 2 game points left for ZHANG Jike. And he takes game number 2, a 2-0 lead. Is the Phoenix rising? Is ZHANG Jike back on his way up? Well, he's on track right now. 2-0. We'll be back for game number 3. HARIMOTO versus ZHANG Jike right after this.
Time.
Back for game number 3. ZHANG Jike leading 2-0 over Tomokazu HARIMOTO. At this point, Ma Long was down 0-2 and would lose this game. So ZHANG Jike to start with the serve here in game 3. I'm thinking about the preparation factor. You have a lot of video footage of ZHANG Jike and his skills over the years. But in recent history, if you watched videos, you're getting a different match than you saw last week in China, the week before in Hong Kong.
1-1.
Beautiful backhand. Sets up like a shovel serve. Straight back rotation. Plays it down the line from the forehand side. What a step around to get that backhand into play. Oh, ZHANG Jike getting angry. Now this is a position I think HARIMOTO has to keep himself here close to the table. It's probably the 3rd shot that ZHANG Jike went with here. That was the real heat. And HARIMOTO right on top of the table. Tempted ZHANG Jike to make it twice in a row. Big opening backhand. This is more of the HARIMOTO that we've seen this tournament. With Lin Gaoyuan, it never came out. He just wasn't able. I think he got 1 game maybe. Came out for a little bit, but for the most part, it just didn't feel like he was playing his game. Here, have to wonder if HARIMOTO's been turned on yet.
4-2.
First towel break, 2 points between them. 2 points can quickly be recovered. HARIMOTO really needs this game for some confidence. We saw Mima Ito come back from down 0-3 against Chun Shing Tong. HARIMOTO has been the talk of the planet since beating Ma Long, the dictator. Gambare HARIMOTO, they say.
4-3.
This is an interesting point here. HARIMOTO that far behind the table after chasing down the forehand. little softer on the opening backhand. Getting Zhang Jiko to take it back. Get him out of position, move him around a little bit for the down-the-line blast. Again, the fastest backhands we've seen down the line were against Ma Long from HARIMOTO. Once again, the combination, corner to corner. For me, this is what has to happen. HARIMOTO stays close to the table. His backhand is not just powerful, not just versatile, it's unpredictable. Yes, that's part of versatility, but I mean, you can't read where it's going so easily, so he can find that wide forehand corner quickly without you knowing it.
6-4.
Touch game, and Zhang Jiko back within 2. Shorter strokes, HARIMOTO making sure he stays on top of the ball for the power. He went to the forehand of Zhang Jiko a little bit early in the point, not quite as aggressively or as wide. But that's why the rally went the way it did, and he got into the passive position.
5-7.
Second towel break, still within 2 points. It's funny, there have been a lot of little things that Zhang Jiko has done so far, and no umpire has said anything to him yet. Sort of controlling the pace, working on Zhang Jiko time. ZJKST, Zhang Jiko's standard time. Said it before, I'll say it again. HARIMOTO needs this game for belief, for hope, for rhythm. To put some doubt in Zhang Jiko, to put a dent in the confidence of a man with persistence tattooed on his shoulder blades.
9-5.
Side top to Chiquita. Zhang Jiko within 3. One more point here for Zhang Jiko, and we might see a timeout, even though HARIMOTO won't have a serve left.
7.
I think I would call it. I'm watching Kurashima in the corner. It looks like he's saving the timeout. Stands up to applaud his player. Now's the timeout. Not at 9-7. Next point.
Timeout.
HARIMOTO could make it 10-7. You think maybe you could save the timeout for later when it's more needed? But now or never. You don't want to be down 0-3. Push game. Opening backhand receive. Trying to read what I see here on screen with body language. For HARIMOTO, again, when he takes the opening receive, if he can play it wide enough, maybe a little bit onto the body, right on the crossover point and follow up wide to the forehand. If Zhang Jiko turns, shovel serve worked well. One time I saw it used. But still not a game yet for HARIMOTO. I expected another 4-0 victory. Hoped for a tighter match. But it makes things really interesting. Quite frankly, either way, but especially for me, if HARIMOTO takes this game here, it'll put a bit more pressure from a stamina standpoint, from a belief standpoint, on Zhang Jiko. It'll also bring a more confident HARIMOTO to the table, a bit more loose and free,
8,
less hesitant,
9.
less tentative. Still 1 point in the lead. HARIMOTO on the receive back from his timeout. Oh, Chiquita pays off in the back arch. Getting quite bent back for that. It is 2 game points for Tomokazu HARIMOTO to really cash in the timeout. He needs to take this game. Not yet. Good placement on the receive over the table. Jike aggressive. One more game point left. The crowd trying to lift HARIMOTO. Big backhand does it. HARIMOTO with the fist bump, the back bend in the game. It is 1-2. Tomokazu HARIMOTO is on the scoreboard, and we will be back. Game number 4. This is getting interesting. Stay right here. Back for game number 4.
HARIMOTO serve, love ball.
HARIMOTO will start now with the serve and a bit of momentum after taking the last game by just 2 points, 11-9. Fast long serve into the middle. Shovel serve again. Sure, you saw the way he changed the grip of his racket before delivering the serve. Held the racket upright, suggesting shovel serve, just a little bit different.
1, 2.
Strong start and finish to the point from Jike. Takes a few shots. Again, he's not going to look to get into the long rallies. Slower player generally should try to finish the point quicker.
3, 1.
Got it!
Well, that one fan who screamed is going to feel quite encouraged after that. HARIMOTO, right before the service toss, had to deal with one quite penetrating voice saying, "Jike Jayo." There's the gambare for HARIMOTO. I think that'd be really funny if the crowd united here to get back. Said, no, this is our house. We're here in Japan, home court advantage. And all said, "Gambate, HARIMOTO, HARIMOTO, gambate." 5,000 people, however many are here right now.
6.
Little apology for the top of the net, but HARIMOTO up 6-2. I still can't believe ZHANG Jike took the first 2 games. Just watching it, it's amazing. HARIMOTO making it his own, getting the early attacks, hanging in for the first one. Convincing lead here in game number 4. Almost looked like it caught the hand of ZHANG Jike on the kick. 2 serving 8. These points are starting to go quickly.
Left. 2-9.
Very confident backhand attempt. Second towel break. ZHANG Jike still down by 6. Clever idea, but right into the body. No timeout left for HARIMOTO. Right now, quite frankly, no need. Around 9-6. If that score were to come to be in this game, you'd expect he'd have one. Outstanding point once again. ZHANG Jike making some big shots right off the bounce. For example, slows it down just a little bit, goes for the big counter. 6 game points to HARIMOTO. 2 games apiece, tied up. The most dominant game we've seen yet. HARIMOTO 11-4 will be back for game 5. The Wonder Kids got some momentum. HARIMOTO, ZHANG Jike, game 5 coming up after this.
Fifth game. ZHANG to serve. Love all.
Back for game number 5. Tomokazu HARIMOTO on the receive with the momentum. Has tied it up. ZHANG Jike looking to turn things around, get this game for a 3-2 lead.
1 love.
Earns himself the forehand attack. Turns and plays the wide one. Backhand deep to the corner.
One, two.
It's really exciting to watch these backhands go at each other. Again, ZHANG Jike, historically, just a few years back, the best backhand in the world. Tomokazu HARIMOTO. Incredible backhand as well, but here ZHANG Jike takes it from over the table, creating that wide angle surprise factor. Good start for ZHANG Jike. Again, he doesn't want to come into game 6 having lost 3 games in a row. Wants to feel like just one more game, that's all I need. I can push, I can find it.
One.
Sometimes a difficult task It's much more doable when you realize you're almost there, just a little bit more. And when it's still far away, there's just a sense of, I don't know, it's too much work. A lot of the conversation as we come into the towel break. Harimoto has beaten Ma Long. Does that mean he's better than Ma Long? Definitely not. Does it mean he's capable of beating Ma Long again? Absolutely. But 2-0 against Zhang Jike would sure be nice. For Harimoto, that is. For Zhang Jike getting his revenge on his way back up. Working hard. He's talked about it explicitly that he wants to play Tokyo 2020, and he's going to do everything he can to take care of himself, give himself the best chances to represent China in 2020.
5-3.
So up by 2 points, about halfway through this game. Zhang Jike making a real case for himself here. Now this feels a bit more like game one. Easier said than done, but you could see the hands of stress in the background from some of the Japanese supporters. When Harimoto gets passive, it's rarely a good thing for his chances, especially against a player who's a little bit slower, whether it's injury, anything else. Good placement here, good kick. The side spin making the ball bend into that elbow. Zhang Jike with some serious trouble off the bounce. I mean, that technique should be unrecognizable from Zhang Jike. We just rarely see a shot like that because he's not dealing with balls that he can't step around. Soft flip from Harimoto, he's within one. Signature Harimoto move there. This is the game. While Zhang Jike's had some comebacks here. Timeout, Zhang Jike's side. Conversation with Liu Guoliang in the corner. I can't hear anything that's being said right now. But it's interesting, when you're a celebrity at Zhang Jike's level, you have to have security follow you to tournaments, stay in other hotels, keep your whereabouts sort of low-key. There might also be this sort of sense of, I don't have to listen to you, but you don't see that. He's been very open to suggestion. He's been very respectful to Liu Guoliang in the corner. I think it's also a big thing in terms of relationship with the coach. If you want to be chosen for the Olympic Games, does the coach have a say? Well, you have to imagine that the coach has some input, even if it comes from higher up in the food chain within the Chinese National Association. But it never helps your chances to not get along with someone in the decision-making position, or who has any influence, right? Biting the hand that feeds. He's working hard to make his way back. Stretching it out. Harimoto with the serve, 1 point behind. This has been a little bit out of character for Zhang Jike so far in this match. Zhang Jike has been strong near the table, especially when he has time for the opening backhands. Soft flip again. This has been working out really well for HARIMOTO, taking a little extra time in the flip game instead of trying to power it and hit it past ZHANG. After all, he's used to the speed. Anyone who's played Chinese Super League or played for the national team knows what speed is all about, probably better than anyone else in the world.
Left. 6-7.
HARIMOTO forcing ZHANG with that softer flip to move, rebalance, and then take a shot. Oh, the flat hit back. Brilliant shot. HARIMOTO, you can hear the smack sound on this ball. Just swats it back. This is Kirill Gerasimenko style out here. HARIMOTO does it from time to time, but it pays off. How to make your inverted rubber feel like pips. Ooh, tested here. Hand to the back. Was he tucking in his shirt? Was he feeling lower back pain? Definitely tested to the wide corner. How much pressure he keeps on HARIMOTO to get another shot back in the opposite way. Still a 1-point lead for HARIMOTO here in the 5th. Oh! This is the pattern. There was 1 point, and several points have been set up sort of like this, where ZHANG was behind the table by a bit, but the one time I talked about it, where HARIMOTO made sure he stayed pinned right at the back of the table in the blocking game. ZHANG going to have to go cross court, because if he tries to play it to the short side, HARIMOTO can play it cross court. It'll be tough for Jike to get back in.
8-9.
Good use of a tight serve. ZHANG here, second serve, and a chance to tie it up. At 9-9 in game 5. A lot of it comes down to nerves, pressure. How do you perform under pressure? The flat one again. It's that no-spin flat shot from HARIMOTO that comes back into the net. Who does that? HARIMOTO's done it twice in just a few points here, 2 out of the last 3. And it earns him 2 game points. He opened strong at the start. ZHANG said, okay, you take the first shot, I'll counter it back. I'm prepared for that. But then found himself behind the table. 2 game points for HARIMOTO.
10.
1 saved in the pressure. Pressure continues to rise. Oh, back edge of the table.
10.
A break for ZHANG. Looking down at the court from time to time. He's stretching out his back. There was an apology. It was really fast. There it is. No questions about that. And he does it at a time to make sure that Tomokazu HARIMOTO can see it. Sometimes players apologize quickly and go right back. The opponent never sees the apology. Tied up here, 10-all, game number 5. Oh, the flat hit finds the net. He had him out of position. He went for the middle of the table. It's easy to second guess. Thinking if HARIMOTO tried to spin that wide with the forehand, it would really test the footwork of ZHANG, considering where he took that last shot from. Tough to fault HARIMOTO. He's made that shot 2 times successfully to win points. Game point to ZHANG. 3 in a row from down 8-10. Oh, the slow spinny one. Leaves open the forehand side. He turns the corner. A 3-2 lead for ZHANG. Nerve time. We will see the pressure builds. Game 6. Don't go anywhere. You're watching exactly what you should be watching. Game 6 of the men's singles final, Japan Open, coming up right after this. Sounded like time was called. If so, the players haven't heard it. Have to imagine I misheard. Normally you would hear time again if time was called. The players didn't respond. Does feel like it's been quite some time though. Oh, I see. Jang Jiko's not there right now. That's why. So time was called. I'll take this opportunity while Harimoto waits to tell you a little bit about the draw and who they beat to get here. Jang Jiko in the opening round beat Jonathan Grote 4-1. After beating Grote, he beat Liang Jingquin 4-3. Then Gina Ueda 4-3. Had a walkover against Timo Boll today. Timo Boll neck injury. And Jang Jiko coming back into the stadium here. We saw this earlier with Harimoto. Had to go to the restroom. If the same thing happens here, an official from the tournament will walk the player to the bathroom. No coach allowed to come. And then the official will wait outside and come right back once the player is out and ready. So it is a 3-2 lead. Jang Jiko making this a very questionable victory for Harimoto, and quite frankly, the biggest victory he's had in a long time. If Jang Jiko could take this title,
Sixth game.
even in the semifinals,
HARIMOTO to
he was the
serve.
last
Love all.
Chinese male in the tournament. And with the strong second string of Japanese men here, and the best player in the world, Ma Long. To have no other Chinese players in this semifinal, quite a shock. Getting the tongue of the shoes straight. Harimoto down 2-3 now to start game 6 with the serve. Clever idea, just missing the corner. First point to Jang Jiko. Pressure on that ball. I mean, it sits up high. That's a tough feeling. When you get the opportunity and you want to do a lot to it. Table tennis players can relate. That one that sits up high and you're just thinking, I'm going to hit this ball so hard it's going to split into pieces, and then you don't touch it.
Let. 2 love.
Big point for Harimoto. He needs to get the wheels rolling here. Still early in the game. But again, the way Harimoto plays every point, and even just being down from a momentum standpoint, from a confidence standpoint, being down 0-2 before this, tough way to go. Big point for Harimoto. It's funny, I have had some conversations with Jang Jiko here and there over the years, but a bit more of a private person. Harimoto in recent years, had a chance to see a lot. The intimidation factor when he's fighting is interesting. There it is, smothers it down the line. Gets Jiko away from the table, makes his way back in on top of the bounce. That was the passive one. And the second arcing forehand like that. We saw this against Gina Ueda. Follow-up shot, Jang Jiko played backhand down the line for a winner, but not this time around.
2-4.
First towel break, and Harimoto in good position here. 4 points in a row from down 0-2. I was going to say the intimidation factor, the fight. If you didn't know Harimoto at all or hear him in interviews, if he was a little bit more private in some ways, you think, man, this guy's intimidating. Physically, of course, stature makes a difference too. Tattoo here and there could help.
3-4.
Again, I'm waiting for Feng Yaolan to break out into the scene. Tear off a jersey in celebration. Revealed to the world some of the most beautiful ink I've seen on the scene. So a 2-point lead for HARIMOTO maintained. To the length of the table, that cross-court forehand. What would it mean for HARIMOTO to win this match? It would mean a lot of things. Confidence. You've beaten Ma Long. You've beaten Fan Zhendong. Zhang Jike 4-0 once. Oh, wider and wider. Zhang Jike moving back into the table. HARIMOTO just keeping the ball in play with some topspin, trying to keep it baseline, but not quite the force that we've seen from him. Again, away from the table a little bit, allows more time. Smart move from Zhang Jike to come back in. And on the other hand, what would it mean for Zhang Jike? It would be incredible encouragement after 2 tough losses 2 weeks in a row. That flip doesn't have to be the most powerful, still relatively powerful. Watch one more time. Yeah, that's fast enough for sure. I mean, no question, just based on the outcome. Tight serve, Zhang Jike keeps it inside the table. HARIMOTO can't steal the attack. Last game, Zhang Jike was able to pull it out. If I remember correctly, he was trailing for a good portion of the game. HARIMOTO. 2 game points saved by Zhang Jike. Top of the net now. Snowball effect, it has to start gathering. I guess that's a rolling stone. No, maybe it's not, it's a snowball. I wasn't raised with that proverb. Okay. Oh, power! In position, Zhang Jike doesn't move too early. He waits to see where HARIMOTO is gonna go. Feels it's likely it's coming back to the forehand, the safer shot. So he waits there. Counters it back even wider. The angles that Zhang Jike has been able to produce from behind the table make him very dangerous.
Seven, 8.
Right down the middle of the table. HARIMOTO looking under pressure to put some pressure on himself. A bit of a flip. Zhang Jike saying, I'd like to wipe my sweat real quick. I'm just gonna grab my towel. Normally people ask. He's just saying, just a heads up, I'm gonna do it. I'm sure you'll grant my wish. 1 down, second serve for Zhang Jike. Oh, the spinny backhand. HARIMOTO maintains and gets back that 2-point lead. I'm nervous watching from here, but I can't imagine what it's like to be in the corner for Coach Kurashima. A match at this level. Spinny backhand, 3 game points. 2 wasn't enough to get the 3-2 lead. Is 3 enough to send it to a deciding game 7? I know the world would love to see it, regardless of who wins. And the table tennis doesn't stop. HARIMOTO with the apology for the back edge. But 11-7, he sends us into the decider. Well, wah wah wee wah, this is going to be quite a thrilling match. Look at the scoreboard. Decided in the decider. Grab your snacks, call your friends, get your hydration ready. Put a towel behind you because you won't need your whole seat, just the edge. The decider coming up right after this.
Time.
Nothing makes a stadium look more beautiful than having people throughout it, thousands of fans here in Kitakyushu, Fukuoka, Japan.
Seventh game.
Watching live as Jang
Level.
tries for his comeback to take this title, and Harimoto tries to continue the streak that he's been on after beating the Dictator and beating Lee Sang-soo earlier today. Jang to start the decider, game number 7. Soft ball.
One.
Apology from Harimoto. Either way, I like the calm. Shows that his head is in the right place here. He's not panicking. And he goes fast when he has the opportunity. This might be part of the reason Harimoto interviews with such a soft voice, that he just doesn't have much left. So softly spoken.
2-1.
First point for Jang in game number 7. Back to the edge tape. His happy place. Drawstring and shirt tucked in, rubber and the tape. Ooh.
1-3.
A delayed chole. Sounded like it hit some skin. I'd love to see a replay of that. I'm curious if it caught the neck or if it was lower. It happened so quickly.
1-3. 3.
So score wrong. 1-3, he says. Language barrier for a moment. It appeared. Assistant umpire also trying to take in what Jang said as well. One serving 3 now. Soft on the backhand. I wonder if Harimoto is flexible enough to get his head to touch the heels of his shoe. Seen people do it from time to time. He bends so far back. 14 years old. I think the 27th he'll be 15 if I remember correctly from his dad. No response from the Japanese fans. Oh, the backhand, the wide angle. Harimoto rocking it out. They're going to switch sides of the table. There are so many picture-perfect slow-mo moments of Harimoto in celebration like a rock star. Game number 7. This isn't over yet. We've seen bigger comebacks from both of these players. Serves on Harimoto's side. The high spinning one. Last time we saw one sit that high, I think it was from Wang Manyu to Mima Ito. Big point for Jang Ji-ka. Second serve here for Harimoto. Harimoto with a backhand rip like we haven't seen from behind the table. Really, the Harimoto celebrations are just too cool. Big shot, watch him turn. Oh. Every point that he wins, we get a better celebration from him than half of the match point celebrations from other players around the world. He's a TV production's dream.
3,
Backhand to backhand, Zhang Jike right off the bounce again, keeping close to the table, keeping the pressure on. An encouraging lead, but far from comfortable and far from over. Short point. Quick decision here to set up the power. No timeouts left. Coach Kurashima can speak Japanese to Harimoto between points. Harimoto can hear him. He's on the serve again, in position to set up his third ball. But Zhang Jike shuts it down. Gets in for that backhand receive. This is what it's all about in the modern game. This is why all the top players have that banana, the Chiquita receive. Why they can use the backhand from the forehand side to generate more spin where the table's in the way.
6. Six.
3-6 wasn't that long ago. Was it 2-6? They switched sides at what, 5-1? It's a fine balance. Playing soft, but playing deep on the table. Positioning is so important. Zhang Jike's come in, and Harimoto's played slightly passive, and he's finished the point. He's played high-risk shots down the line, and he's made them. He's countered, he's opened with the backhand. Bold serve and an outright point. The streak continues, at least 4 in a row now. Harimoto straightening the shirt, trying to calm himself. Both players wiping the sweat from their palms near the net on the table. Even down on the sock for Zhang Jike, who's in the lead now for the first time. Game 7. Ooh, this one gets away. Harimoto escapes, hangs in for the big backhands. One. It was a second backhand in the turn with the forehand. From the start of this game, it was starting to look quite one-sided. 7-all. Zhang Jike gets the break. Harimoto, very difficult ball here. Thought he still had a chance. Bit of side spin, it was right near the edge of the table. He didn't even catch it from over. That's a very difficult shot to deal with. And the crowd getting behind Harimoto. It just got quite cold in here. And this one sneaks past. 2-point lead for Zhang Jike against serve. He takes both of the points on Harimoto's serve. Cleans the table. ZJK time. Playing with fire here, leaving it up to the forehand flip. Again, from this camera angle, it is tough to tell how high this ball is. A little bit more shallow on the table. Clearly, this ball goes long. Harimoto within 1 point. Another serve here for Zhang Jike. From Harimoto, he holds up the apology, gets away with the point. The rally continues 9-all in Game 7. It will come down to 2 points between these two players. Tomokazu Harimoto could be the future, the best player the world has ever known. When his time comes, still years away, with players like Ma Long and Fan Zhendong in front of him. And Jang Jike coming back from the past to 9-all in Game 7. The backhand goes out. Match point for Jang Jike. How bad does he want it? Harimoto hasn't won a point on his serve in his last 3 attempts. Japan behind him. Boom! What a counter! Deuce in game number 7, 10-all. I didn't think it could get more exciting than the Ma Long Tomokazu Harimoto match. It's never a shame when there's an amazing match, but it's often a shame when the most exciting match of the tournament is a quarterfinal. Not this tournament. The men's singles final after incredible women's singles final. Jang Jike with the serve. Push goes long. Harimoto earns match points. Saves a match point. Earns a match point. It is not over yet. It is 1 point away from over. 30-year-old Jang Jike, Olympic gold medalist, Grand Slam champion in the fastest time of table tennis history. Oh, it was there! It was there! Jang Jike just exhaling. Wow! Never easy. Shots coming back. But he earned the opening on the forehand side. You might recall when Harimoto flat hit the ball into the net on the middle of the table, I was thinking, why not counter loop the other way? Well, he tried it here. He went for it. Long serve attacked right to the middle. I don't know who's louder, the crowd, Harimoto. I'm trying to scream over all of it. I can't believe it. Another match point. Risky, gutsy play. This is what champions are made of. It's the players who perform under pressure. When everything is on the line. Second match point for Harimoto. Tomokazu Harimoto face down. 13-11, 4-3. What a save. He saved match point against the best Jang Jike we have seen in a long time. A respectful handshake, an amazing performance from Jang Jike, but even better from 14-year-old Tomokazu Harimoto. How much can you take? Japan really got their money's worth here in this tournament. From Mima Ito to Tomokazu Harimoto, the biggest hug that I have seen from him with Coach Kurashima. It's not his father in the corner. It is everybody in the stadium minus about 20 Jang Jike fans, sounding like about 100 out here. Tomokazu Harimoto has stood the test. Not the test of time, the test of consistency, challenge, and performing under pressure. He had ice on his shoulder yesterday. Was on his way to bed early, his hands in the air. The 4-0 victory did not feel anything like this match. A week ago, it was a completely different Jang Jike. And Harimoto from down 0-2 and 2-3 comes back, and there's Dad, Yu Harimoto, coach, father. Wow. Harimoto. Watashi wa Tomokazu Harimoto desu. I am Harimoto. That would be the phrase to be saying right now around the world. We'll take a minute here. Instagram, tweet, Facebook post, whatever you want. This news will be circulating fast, and the highlights will be circulating as well. The Ball Kids with some good handshakes from a player who will be a legend of the sport. It sure seems the way things are going right now. Stick around, we'll have the awards ceremony and the interview coming up with Tomokazu Harimoto right after this. You're watching the 2018 ITTF Seamaster World Tour Lion Japan Open.